Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. I thought we were going to be doing treasure chests today, but I thought that we still have some more issues with our pushable objects. That being one I don't even know how to fix. I don't know why we just teleported there. I do notice some inconsistencies when the game is not running at a stable like 60 FPS. I don't know if what we just witnessed was a result of that, but things I thought is like if there's two pushable objects, we need to not allow them to collide into one another. So we need our legal push method to return false if where we're going to be pushing the pushable is already inhabited by a pushable object or a collidable object of other variety. So we're kind of doing it for the map. We're doing collidable like this tree, for example. We're not saying, hey, there's a tree at, row 5, and saying that that's a collidable map object. What we're really doing is we assign the tile that is a tree an ID that is within a certain range, and then our data downloader, when we pull the map from our .lua file, we draw it in tiled, we export it as numbers, just tile IDs, and then it says, since the tile ID is in this range, these are all collidable map objects, so you cannot walk over all the tiles, any of the tiles that are in this range right here. And this is why I put a red squares for all of these, because these are all collidable map objects is what I call them. But we don't, as of right now, have a method to really say, we're going to insert a pushable. We have pushables, right? But we don't have if we insert something like, I'm trying to get around, like, if we have two pushables, it's easy enough to cycle through all the pushables and then check if the next, where we're going to be pushing already has a pushable object in it. If so, legal push is false. But I'm thinking of other stuff, like a treasure chest. When we add a treasure chest and there's like a pushable thing in that room, we don't want to be able to push the pushable on top of the treasure chest, because the treasure chest needs to be added on top, because it's not part of the map, because it changes with interaction. So it's not part of the map. It'll be a, I don't know, like map objects table that we need to add. So I'm thinking we need to add, we need to either check our pushable if it's colliding with any other pushables or any other map objects. And maybe I would like to have pushables go in the map objects. So like, let's say there's a treasure chest, two pushable boulders, and a crate. All four of those things would go in the map objects table. Yet some of them are pushable and some of them are not. Let's see when we kind of define what pushable we have. I think it's in the map declarations. Okay, so we give each of our maps a pushables table. I'm thinking of changing that into a map objects. And a pushable would just be one of the map objects that happens to be of type pushable class. Where are we even saying? We have a part where we're saying there's a boulder. Pushables. Okay. Yeah, so we have this pushables table. I'm thinking of having a separate, instead of putting it in pushables, I want to put it in like the map objects table, because we might have something like a treasure chest or a crate or a doorway that is temporarily in the way, right? Like a locked door. So something that would serve as collision detection, but if anything in the map objects is of type class pushable, then we can go ahead and do our pushable logic to it. So I'm thinking that that's the direction I want to go, because I don't want to have to build out, you know, in our pushable method when we say for like a legal push, I don't want to have to cycle through all of our pushables in the current map, and I don't want to have to also cycle through map objects as well. I'd rather just cycle through one table of things that we could collide with, return legal push false or true, and then have our pushables work as normal. I'm trying to think of a downside to doing it like that. I don't really know of a way to, even though this is like a pushable instantiation being inserted into this table, I don't know if there's a way to say, hey, if map objects at index 1 is of class pushable. I don't know how to do that. So it might be weird to try and update the pushable object correctly when it's in a map objects field. I don't exactly know. So maybe we'll just see where we cycle through the pushables and go to update them. Yeah. It looks like in our walk state, we cycle through our pushables. Okay. We got rid of the pushing field, I guess. It wasn't working. I guess we got rid of it completely. Yeah, because how did we... Yeah, we might just have to do separate tables. I don't think I like that, though. Yeah, so if we imagine this .pushables is instead named .mapObjects, we can say, let's cycle through our map objects. Then instead of seeing what are we even doing here? We're not actually doing anything upon a collision with this stuff. So how are we even pushing the pushable? Yeah, let's see where we call the push left method or whatever, and see it's a push left initiated. Okay. Okay, in our player walk state, we do have a dot pushing here that we're not using, or that we are using. Okay, so where were we just at in code where we had that turned off, the pushing field turned off? Because this is where we're actually pushing based on collision, and we're cycling through our pushables. I am curious if we can ask if a certain object inside a table is a class type. I'm not sure how to do that. Because if we can do that, then we can just say, hey, cycle through your map objects. If it's a pushable, let's go ahead and check for collision to see if we need to run our push method. And then otherwise, just add the collision detection to every object that's in the map objects, because you can't collide with a map object. And then we can also see, and what gets really tricky too is like the pushables themselves ideally would have some collision baked in so that something like a gecko can't walk underneath them or on top of them, so that hopefully the gecko would get stuck or something, because, you know, we just don't want any characters to kind of go through and break the illusion that they're not actually in-game objects. There is so much stuff to think about. Like, yeah, I want to see where we're doing the pushing, because we have this where we flush our pushing to be false, and we become pushing true. Wow, we really just don't really do pushing. Where do we use pushing? We really just don't use it. So let's get rid of it. It's just confusing me at this point. And if we screw this up and we do actually use it, then we can just undo what I'm doing. I really don't think we're doing it though. So like, here is the output list. So where is this? This is an update for walk. But this isn't effectively doing anything. Okay, and then here's where we really do the effective pushing, which is, oh goddamn. Well, we use pushing here too, but it doesn't do anything. Like pushing, we're not doing anything because of pushing, so setting it there doesn't do anything. Player to pushables collision. We cycle through our pushables. If we collide with any of the dot pushable objects, then we increment our push timer. Now, I don't think we need this. Output list is 1. I don't think we need that. But we check each and every collision. If we left collide, right collide, top and bottom collide, and we would reset our push timer. We check for illegal push, which means we can initiate the push if we're past that threshold. Also change our animation. Okay, so I don't think we need this pushing, dot pushing. Okay, let's see if we break anything by doing that. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Because, like, if we, like, see this mage walking around, we have this, and we can just push it on top of the mage. Which, yesterday I was saying, well, we can just not put pushables on screen with an NPC. But it really does sort of bug me, like... Well, it bugs me because it's so messy. Like, if we wanted to add another... Let's add another boulder or a log pushable and see what happens if we try to push two pushables into one another. So, we're going to say on this scene 4-4, we're going to insert a pushable at 4-4, which is a boulder, and at 4, or maybe 6-4. 2 pixels to the right. Or two tiles to the right, and it's going to be a stump or a log. So now we have a log and a boulder, and if we can push the boulder, it would just render. It's just so weird. So, like, we don't want janky stuff like that. It's weird it only pushes one at a time, though. That is kind of weird. Okay, so yeah, I want to prevent stuff like that, because I want us to feel free when we're kind of designing little puzzles. So the pushables need to work with one another. And then ideally the NPCs wouldn't collide with the pushables too, but that's a two-factor problem. We cannot push a pushable into where an NPC is currently at, and an NPC cannot walk where a pushable currently exists. So I guess we could do, at least for the NPC pausing, we can have like a little like obstacle found boolean in our NPC. And if our NPC collides with any map objects or pushables, we can say, okay, that NPC's well, I forgot what I called it already, but like path blocked is true, then we would reset all of the path leading up to it, and then just kind of, I don't know, god dang. It's tough because it's like, we can say, okay, obstacle in path gets true on the NPC, therefore we have to wait until there's no object in front of us or in our path. Mostly our path is just walking in a square, up, left, down, right, but sometimes the path might be just left and right or just up and down. So in order for us to kind of see when it gets unblocked, we could just say, okay, so our path's blocked, so let's reset our position to the pixel before we became colliding with a pushable object, and then just replay your previous movement. So like reset your X and Y and DX and timer, whatever we've got, reset that to where it was before you collided, and just check if you can do it again without colliding with a pushable, because once a pushable is out of their way, they should be able to resume their walking or whatever. So I guess that kind of goes for us as well, because right now, if this little guy is walking, this mage is walking, and we're chilling right here, he'll just push us. So that creates another issue where it's like, well, if there's a collidable map object, let's just try it and see what happens. If there's a collidable map object in between where both of us are, and he goes to push us and we push, but we can't collide with a pushable, like right here, watch this. So look, we're inside the pushable object, which shouldn't be possible, and then we just collide out. So it's kind of interesting because we don't check for collision with the pushables unless our input is being held. So that's why we were able to be pushed inside of it. But there's a lot of collisions going on, and I don't have any experience handling all of this kind of stuff. So I'm trying to figure out what the move is. On one hand, we can decide, hey, just don't put pushables where an NPC is, and have NPCs programmed in a very specific manner where they can't push us into collidable map objects, right? So like that's the easy way out. So we can just say, okay, there's a mage, he's down here, he can't push us into anything. And there's no pushables on this frame. You know, we would just make sure we design it without any pushables. But then the other thing is, we at the very least need pushables to be able to detect whether or not another pushable is in the object, or in the space that we're about to push it into, because we need multiple pushables in one scene so that we can do little puzzles. So at the very least, we need pushables to know about other pushables. But where do we draw the line? Because there's entities like geckos, do they know about pushable objects and they cannot collide? And do we don't really have any pathfinding for them. Let's see what that looks like, because we can put geckos. Actually, yeah. Let's see where we do have corrupted geckos in one of our maps, and it's in the dungeon. So I'm wondering if we can just put a boulder in there and see how the geckos interact with the boulder to see how jacked up it is. Okay, I'm trying to find the frame that we put the geckos in, but we can just walk over there. So 7.4 takes us to 112, and that's where the geckos are, at 112. So let's try to put a pushable there in 112. Oops. Yeah, let's do 112 instead. And then we'll put it, we'll put it just right there where we had it. But when we spawn, I want to not spawn in 7.2. I want to spawn at 12.1, 112? 112, let's see. So we spawn in 112, there's the pushable, so if we put it here, yeah, they just ignore it. So like, you know, at the very least, we want pushables to know about other pushables, and we also want it to know about entities, because that just looks so wrong, right? We want the geckos to treat it as if it's there, so that we can actually do useful things with it instead of just, yeah. Okay, so I do think it should know about entities, and I do think it should know about other pushables. Yeah, part of me is thinking that the path restarting, if a pushable's in an NPC's way, to kind of, I think that might be too much. Because we could, I'm trying to think of like, because like, yeah, the path pausing, I feel like is just gonna be a bit much. I don't know. It comes down to the time crunch of like, if I really want this game to be done in less than 2 years from now, I like just have to make, you know, I have to make some decisions to kind of speed up the process, because it's already been like 5 days of just trying to get pushing working. So I don't know. I say at least have pushables know about other pushables, and at least have pushables non-colliding with entities. And then we'll just be smart about how we put pushables inside of same maps with NPCs. I think that's the move. And then, you know, if down the line we have an idea for a pushable that we really need to be on screen with an NPC, then we can come back and add it, you know. But I don't think it's that essential currently. So let's put our boulder back at 7.2. And we will spawn back at 7.2, and then we will get going here. I think we'll try to do, man, it still confuses me a bit whether or not we're gonna move our pushables into a map objects table. I don't know of a way to ask what type of object a class is, or like if we index into a table and it's a class instantiation, if we can ask what class it is. I don't know how to do that. Let me look at our class library and see if I can maybe find anything like that. I think it was in a library here. No? Where is our class? We're looking for a class.lua. Right here, source class.lua. Okay. Okay. Type. We have type. Else if type from... Because it'd be nice if we can say map objects index 1 is type what, and it can say either it's not a class or it's a pushable class. Because then if that's the case, then we can move our pushables into a map objects table, which would be helpful. Class can be nil. Class gets class, function new class. So how would we go index? Class dot underscore underscore index is the actual implementation of the class. So maybe we can take the object once we init it and go into the index and maybe pull out what the class is. If that's the case, then we can move our pushables into a collidable map objects table. That'll help us for collision between entities and push objects, right? And or map objects, because we don't want geckos to be walking through a treasure chest either. So it would be nice if we can put them all in one layer as a collidable map object, but still have specific logic only to the pushables, because not every item in a collidable map object would be pushable. So let's see if we can do this underscore underscore index and pull out the class of what this is. So we're going to look inside the map declarations, and this is the table we're digging into. We're going to go into map 7.2, and we're going to try to go into the .pushables index 1, which should be this pushable object that we insert right here. And then we're going to try to go into the underscore underscore index field and see if it gives us pushable class. Like that would be nice if it gives us a string of what type of class it actually is. So let's see if this is where we want to dig. Our place state's where we're rendering our stuff, right? We have like in the play state, we've got this. Okay, so I'm going to just add at the very end, and I'm just going to say play state at the very end. All we're going to do is print, it's got to be a love.graphics print. And we're just going to say hi there. And we're going to do it at 0, 0, whatever color, whatever font. Let's just see if we see hi there, because then we can dig into 496 love.graphics.print. Oh, comma. Okay, I don't see the hello there. Play state. We could have a transparent color or something. Okay, hi there is there, so let's just scoot it down so we can read it a bit better. And then we'll try to print up the index of the class of the pushable that we're trying to find out there. So it says hi there, so we know that's working. So let's try to put, we'll say value, and then we want to concatenate with that string an actual value converted to a string, and the actual value is the map 7.2 pushables. So let's see. Because if we go to a string and we try to give the pushables at index 1, because it's the one we actually inserted. We already screwed this up. So that's the string. We're going to concatenate that. Then we're going to say, okay, this is at like 1010 or whatever. Now, this is like the whole table. So when you try to print out an object, it gives you the address of the table you're asking for. So what we could do is, instead of using toString here, it's called, we had a library for this and it was called, I'm forgetting what it was called. It's called something simple. It's called, like, I think in our dependencies we have it imported. Inspect, that's what it is, inspect. So instead of saying toString, we can run the inspect, I believe it is capital, inspect function on our pushables, and that should give us the actual data in the table. Cool. So there's the data in the table. Now, ideally, we have something that says pushable in here. Index 1, here, look at that, underscore index is just table 1. So that's literally just the index of which index the object is inserted into in this master table. So let's try to dump this, not a love.graphics print, but a print, and that will print it to the console. But we have to go into our conf here and turn our data console true in order to see it. So let's see if it gives us any useful dump here. Okay, so we have an X and a Y. Oh, come on. I don't really see, like, it has the functions we give it, right? Like the inits from the class itself, which is this index and clone, and then it has the legal push method, the actual push methods. So this is like, I guess what we could do is add a field to the class that is type. And we can assign the type of pushables to be equal to pushable. Then we can ask if the dot type of the thing that's in the map objects table has a type of pushable, do something. So I think that can get us around it. So let's go turn this back off because I don't like how bad that is. Let's go back. I didn't see anything in here that says which class of thing we actually instantiated. So I think what we need to do is add to our pushable class a dot type. Oh, we have a dot type for the type of pushable, but we want like class type. So like we can say class type gets automatically assigned to pushable string here in the init for the pushable. So we don't even have to add this as a parameter. We just know if it's a pushable instantiation, we have a dot class type of pushable. So if we go into our walk state and where we're printing up, it's actually not our walk state, it's our play state. Yeah, so instead of doing this pushables, we want to not inspect, but to string. It actually already is a string, so we should be okay just concatenating it. And we'll be able to love.graphics print a value, and we're concatenating the thing that's in our pushables table, but we're going into the class type to see what it is. So if what prints up here is pushable, then we're in business. Yeah, we don't need that. Pushable. We got it. Yeah, we got it. Okay. Okay. So that tells me that we can make a collidable map objects field. And we can insert things like a treasure chest, or a pushable boulder, or a pushable crate, or a locked door. And we can add collision to these map objects so that you can't walk through, and geckos can't walk through a pushable boulder or a treasure chest, but we have access to this pushable type that we can say, if we're colliding with a map object and the type of that map object is pushable, then let's go through and check our pushable logic so that we can actually push the object. And then if we don't assign the pushable field as a class type, then we wouldn't, it would be nil, so we wouldn't run our pushable logic on our other map objects, because we don't want to be able to push treasure chests or locked doors. We just want to be able to push pushables. So I think that's the route we're going to go. And I am just not feeling doing much more. At least we got it talked through. I've got to wake up early tomorrow for work and drive across town, so I think I'm gonna call it, but at least I have a much better idea of where we're going with it now, so that's good. We can say that we, I don't know, added class type to pushables. So we're gonna want to make sure that we add and change all of our pushables from our .pushables table into a collidable map objects table or something like that. And then we can insert things that by default get collision with entities like geckos, but also allow us to still run our push methods if it's a pushable object instantiation. So I think that's going to set us up good. But yeah, sorry it wasn't so much programming today, but at least we got a plan. We're going to raid out to our homie Hypnotic. If I could spell his name right. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. I've got a big full day of work tomorrow. It'll probably be another short late night stream tomorrow, but we'll see where we can get. Thanks for watching.